Hello again, people at home and around the globe. Louis Tucci here live once again with the ZBrush Summit 2022 from the Mobian stage in sunny Burbank, California. We had high winds and high talent today rolling through. It was a cavalcade, an extravaganza of talent. It was something to behold, and if you hadn't seen it, you wouldn't believe it had happened. So, without further ado, I have to say that we've come to the moment that we've all been waiting for when we talk about and we deep dive into. Now, hold on a second. Look at who's found their way. The two of them. They used to be the remote twins, and now they're on set with me live. I've got Paul Gaboury and Ian Robinson live back on the green screen. Say hello, boys. It's ZBrush time. Back with our very own, the ones and twos.
Magically.
Yeah.
Paul Gaboury and Ian Robinson.
Yeah.
Let's talk for a half a second here about the magic and the mystery tour that we went on for the last 3 days. We started it off with the illustrious, the venerated, the oftentimes never duplicated ZBrush Sculpt-Off. That was a heroic endeavor by those people. Quick thoughts about that. Paul Gaboury, you're back with us live.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun as always. It is actually one of my favorite segments. Just seeing what different artists can do with the theme that we give them, the challenge that we give them. And it's just a lot of fun bouncing around and trying to play in the game with us, the guessing game.
Yeah, the guessing game.
Yeah, I know some of the guys in the control room were joining us, they said, and trying to guess as well what environments were maybe people were using and what word they might have used for their sculpt. So it's always fun to see that. And like I said, that was our 8th at the summit.
8th time.
8th time at the summit.
Okay, so, and then we go to Ian Robinson, who made his debut here under the hot
debut.
lights. Hello. He got sent out into the
camera.
wilderness. We took him. He went to Sideshow Collectibles. He was with a scan truck. He got scanned. Ian, your take now that you're coming back down to earth after the 3-day extravaganza that was your tour of duty with us as an official member of the ZBrush team. Last feelings here. How do you feel?
Well, it's nice that you say I'm back to earth, but I'm still on cloud 9. It was amazing. These last 3 to 4 days have just been out of this world, from the Sculpt-Off all the way down to even our last presentation with Seabeats. Like, it's been a wild ride. So hopefully the audience is enjoying it as much as I am, because I'm enjoying it for
You haven't stopped smiling.
If not, it's all good. You're enjoying it that much.
You can enjoy it all you like.
Thank you for throwing it for me, because I've had a blast.
Hey, there you go.
In all seriousness, I think it should be a moment of pause there. He's been smiling the whole time. It brings us great joy to have someone go from watching in the stands or watching online to come and join us. And it's proof in the pudding that ZBrush can unite and bring people together. So it's really a testament to the brand and a testament to the product. So without further ado, though, guys, it comes to the attention of the public at large that we've been working on some things. The Maxon ZBrush.
We've been working on a few things and stuff and things. And
but I have
Paul,
to ask
any thoughts on those?
I'm just here for comedic relief.
Hold on one second. Before you two knuckleheads
really bad jokes and see
before you two get carried away, hang on a second. So let's say what it is that we're going to do here is we are going to do what we usually do, which is show works in progress, basically what we've been up to.
Yeah.
We're going to give the public a sneak peek. Usually you wouldn't get this, but we've felt that maybe it's time to do that because we've given so many sneak peeks across the last 4 days that this is something. What are we going to do first, Ian?
Yeah, so like you said, we're going to do a sneak peek of stuff, because we've had a lot of talks and a lot of ideas that we wanted to bring to fruition. And so the first thing we're going to do is, this whole time, I don't know if you can really get a big shot of this room,
Wide
but
angle.
we've been in this AR stage this whole time, throughout the entire event, and already have gotten a lot of questions. How was this possible? And so I actually want to share my screen and kind of walk through how GoZ interacted with Cinema 4D, and then how Cinema 4D interacts with Unreal with their Cineware in order to get this type of scene possible. So as you can see here, during the Sculpt-Off, a little nod to the Sculpt-Off, because we had all these environments that Paul Gaboury and I would put together for the contest to kind of sit there and say, like, make your environment, make your piece here. Well, what if I wanted to take this and put this all the way to Unreal Engine? So it's actually really, really simple. So I've made my model here, and also too, just to kind of showcase that I actually have some textures. So I have the wall here, and I have a little texture map here for some poly paint that I wanted to bring with me. So what I'm going to end up doing is I'm just going to come on up to the GoZ palette and hit visible. Now, of course, if in your subtool palette, of course, you have everything, you could do that, but I'm just going to go ahead and say visible, because everything I see is what I want to send over. So I'm going to go ahead and click that, and we're going to go ahead and say, oh boy, yep, there we go. And we're going to pop up Cinema 4D, which there is my scene right there. Perfect. Now, here it's going to go ahead and populate your scene into Cinema 4D. I'm just going to take it out of
Hey, hold on a second. Some people might be seeing this type of thing for the first time. Are you meaning to tell me that you just pressed a button and you were able to go from ZBrush to Cinema 4D that easily?
Yeah, in fact, and I even had to do, we've watched.
Put an extra
we
curl in
literally
my
just
hair
saw the
just then.
installer part happen too. Don't show this. Yeah, go ahead and install. Like,
Wow.
yeah, it was that simple.
Come on.
So I'll back up. So
Please do. Like I said, you just put an extra curl in my hair. I'm not kidding.
And then I just, because my hell's seeing here. So the audience, I'm sure, is familiar with GoZ in ZBrush, but
Sure.
now we made sure that we integrated that so we could send it over into Cinema 4D. And what's really, really cool is in Cinema 4D, I'm just going to open up where my materials are, and you can see that my materials and textures populated alongside of it, which is,
Hey, you're
of course,
going really
well, that's
quick. I
fantastic,
got to rein
right?
you in.
Sure,
Ian,
that helps.
People
That
might not
makes
know.
an easier
Hold on one
pipeline.
second. This is so important. Ian,
Sure.
Ian is responsible having made this scene, and Paul and Ian were responsible. You guys don't give yourself enough credit. I wanted to pause and make sure people knew that. So carry on. Good work.
Thanks, man.
It's not the Lincoln Memorial themed one, though.
It's not the Lincoln Memorial. That's going to be the running gag.
For those that
for
watch, it's a running gag from the.
Yeah, that'll be a running gag for a while.
Go, go, go,
Okay,
go.
okay, okay, fine,
I don't want to
fine,
keep
fine.
interrupting you.
So now here, what we want to do is there's a plugin called Cineware that plugs directly into Unreal Engine. And what I'm going to need to do is go to File, and I'm going to want to save my project. So I sent it over from ZBrush, GoZ, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to call this my test send, just for funsies.
Keep it simple.
Keep it simple.
Keep it
Go ahead and
simple.
save. And that's just saving a C4D file. That's
Okay.
it. Okay?
All right.
Now I'm going to go ahead and plop on over to a very basic Unreal Engine 5 scene here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come on down. Now I've installed the plugin. So I'm going to go to Datasmith and say File Import. And now I'm going to go ahead and there's my
Here it
scene.
is.
Test scene, right? You can see I've done this a few times.
Apparently.
If I'm going to go
You got
ahead,
a little more clever with the naming, though.
I did, yeah.
This one, you kind of kept it simple for live.
This was my super organization,
Sure.
and then all of a sudden we're
gotcha.
demoing. So,
Yeah.
now I'm going to go ahead and say open, and it's going to bring up a folder that's going to basically say this is the content that's in. Say OK, and now we have different options we could choose from, which is really, really cool because I have geometry, materials and textures, lighting, camera, animations, etc. So at any point in time, if I wanted to, change something, I can deselect or select the things that I want. For this, I'm going to leave a default. Just go ahead and say import so that everybody can just see how quickly it is. So again, we're just taking a file from ZBrush with textures. We're sending that on over to Cinema 4D and then saving it out and populating it here. So now at any point in time, if I wanted to make a change or add some geometry, which I'm just going to go ahead and add a cube in here real fast, just so that we can see that the geometry is changing. I can just come back over, save that project, and then do the re-import as well. Going to Datasmith, File Import, selecting my scene, and then you can even see here it's already populated another folder. So when I go ahead, I'm just going to change the geometry this time because that's all I added. But you can see now it's going to recalculate the scene, and then it'll go ahead and populate that cube. So you can now start world building directly in ZBrush. I mean, you could always do that.
You always could.
But now you can just plop it over to Cinema 4D, which now has a direct link to Unreal Engine 5.
Nice. Yeah, and that's how those environments were made. That was pretty much it in a nutshell. So you too can make your own environments now.
Absolutely.
For a stage.
Yeah.
Another job.
Yes.
Okay, can I go now, though?
Do you really want to go?
I do. Let's go.
Okay.
Let's switch chairs.
Hot chairs.
Let's just switch chairs. We're switching chairs. I want to go now. It's my turn to
Your
go. I'm just going to close this because we're done and it's
You did-
already. I don't save it. Okay.
Wait,
Is that
you
okay
didn't
with
like
you?
my files?
Just let it go. Just let it go, man. Just let it go. All right, here we go. Near and dear to my heart.
Paul
Big
Gabriel,
time
ladies and
80s.
gentlemen. Hold on a second here.
What? Yes, sir.
What have you got planned for the people here now?
Listen, I'm just going to do, I already said I'm here just for comedic relief. There's going to be a lot of real great jokes. It's going to be fantastic. Just buckle up and let's get going, right? If you want to do a two-seat buckle, like I say,
Yeah, we should.
buckle
Race
it up,
car it
buckle
up.
Yes, you are a big race car fan, that
Yes.
is for sure.
Yes.
You know that over these last 4 days. That's all right. So I'm just going to take this and something that we all use on a regular, I think probably every single ZBrush artist uses ZRemesher. So we've been working on a new ZRemesher. It's getting an update, so I kind of want to share a couple little things here that we've been working on with ZRemesher. So I'm just going to open up here. And you can see the menus change a little bit because we've got some more options. So I'm going to put this back at like just the defaults, with the defaults that you're all used to. I'm going to hit remesh. What I'm remeshing here is the head that you're seeing here, this wonderful gremlin head that we got here. So I'm going to let that remesh. Yes, go ahead.
Oh, I'm a fan of it.
You're a big fan of gremlin.
Yeah.
Who isn't a fan of gremlin? That's all I'm saying.
They startled me as a child. I thought they were real in the theater.
I can't wait to show it to my little one. I'm not going to lie.
yes.
It's going to be a good time. It's a Christmas movie, by the way, okay?
Oh,
Okay, hold on a second.
Absolutely.
If something has
What?
happened to this guy's face, what just
Well,
happened?
you know, he's been remeshed. He's been remeshed, so you can see. So what happens here a lot of times as an artist, you're remeshing and then you're trying to figure things out. So the old way I used to do this is, I don't know if this is good enough. I'm doing a lot of undos and try and retry. Well, guess what? There's now a retry button here. And so the beauty of this is I actually don't have to undo. So I'm gonna say, you know what? 5,000 is not enough. I'm gonna go to 10,000. Instead of even undoing, I'm just gonna hit retry now.
So you're upping the ante now.
Yeah, I'm just saying, you know what, that one I don't think cut it for me. And what's happening is that retry is pulling back the original sculpt and remeshing that version for me again. It's not actually using the one that we were looking at. So that's what that retry button does for me now. And the reason why I like this is a big thing for me, is I can go now undo and redo, and I can just look between the two remeshes. So this is what I like about that, because
Impressive.
so many times I undid to the model, I remeshed, and then I'm like, well, I don't remember what the last one looked like. So that's really one of the beautiful things about this new retry button. It's going to allow me, and you can clearly see, especially if you take a little peek here in the nose area, what it was. So like, he's going to have a hard time breathing right there. That's going to be a little difficult.
Hey.
Yes, now he can cause mayhem. Now he can go, yeah, Louis, talk
Just
to
a
me.
quick commentary here. You're saying the
Yes.
original mesh, so you're talking about the source mesh that you started off with at the high resolution.
Yeah, I'm starting off with that.
wow.
And another thing that's also happening, what we added a caching system to the Z-remesher itself. So guess what? Your Z-remesher now is even going to get faster. So I can change even again the polygon count, and if I hit retry again, it's going back to the original. And what I'd like to highlight is the RS up here in the top left corner right now. This is saying, hey, it's retrying and pulling the data, the cache data, so my remeshing time is getting cut down for me. So instead of us having to always keep remeshing what we're looking at, this is actually pulling a file that we're saving out now to allow you to kind of get going and remeshing. So it's speeding up our remesh process.
Wow.
Because sometimes it could take a couple seconds, 10, 30 seconds or so. It depends on the model you're throwing at Z-remesher. So these two additions have been really handy to speed up some workflow for us all. So you've got a new caching system and you've got a retry system. Well, we didn't just end there with this way we've been playing with this Z-remesher. I'm going to
Have we ever really?
I gotta bring him back just because
Oh,
he's not
yes.
here.
I love this guy. He's a cute little adorable.
He's a cute little guy. Our little Joseph Drust made this. Isn't it adorable?
Hello, Joseph, wherever you are.
Right. It's lovely. So we have a new option now called Keep Polypaint. So you can now, when you remesh, if you're, I know there's a lot of artists, like off the top of my head, like Danny Williams, kind of people who likes to bring in painting. We saw a bunch of artists here that brought in polypaint early. Even Damien Candelet, he brought in polypaint early. So now you can actually keep your polypaint. So I'm going to use kind of them all together right now. I don't know what I want as a remesher, so I'm just going to say, let's keep the paint, and then let's remesh that. So what we're doing is remeshing at our normal default, which is the 5,000 polygons. There we go. And you can see the paint has stayed, but it's not quite what I want. So now this is the beauty. I go, I don't know what I want. So now I just start playing with this, and now I can just hit retry. And once again, you see it's retrying in the top left corner here, okay? And it's also, so what you want to be looking for is up here. So that took 6 seconds to do that. So now you can just all day here just figure out what number do you want and just hit retry. And again, I'm not remeshing the one we're looking at. I'm remeshing where we started with this model.
And you're keeping the poly
And
paint,
I'm keeping the poly
So that's
paint
not
as
time
we keep
wasted.
going. Yeah.
Hey, just a second, and you're,
Yes, sir.
and you're reducing the time because of the cache process.
Yeah, and I'm reducing. So these two new options with the retry and the caching is about speed, right? This Keep Polypaint is thinking about how you are as an artist. Some of you like to bring in polypaint early, really see that character, and then want to remesh. Now you're going to be able to keep your painting. Okay, so that's what's something that's new for the Z-remesher.
Chat is blowing up.
We've been
Happy
working on.
thoughts.
Talk to me.
Happy thoughts are happening in the chat.
All right, I'm glad,
great.
I'm glad I'm making your day. Wait, that camera, that's the camera
That
I'm on
camera,
right
that
now. There,
camera?
right there. That
Okay.
camera, that
Yeah,
camera, that camera. All right, so that is the Z remesher. Now this one's, oh boy, this one's a big one. So I'm gonna bring up a model that we've gotten from Turbo Squid. HP Military is who made this model. This was a nice little jacket here.
Woo, that's looking good.
We've had a lot of conversations these last 4 days about masking.
Huge conversations.
I'm a big masker. I think it's an important. Yeah, go ahead.
I think a lot of fans in the chat are also huge fans of masking. Everybody today was saying how masking changed their life, how they use it all the time.
We did have that.
So what is it that we're going to bring to the table now with masking?
Oh boy, I think this is a game changer for a lot of people.
Are you going to use the fire chicken?
What happened?
Are you using the fire chicken?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
I'm just for you, and only for you, that I'm going to do this.
Get the Bert.
Okay?
That's it. You only get one, Louis.
Often you're masking as an artist, right? So you're grabbing your pen mask and you're doing like nice shapes. Look at that. That's gorgeous, right?
Beautiful. Work of art.
Breathtaking over here. Mom, look at me. I'm making art.
You did it.
Yay! So listen. This is nothing impressive, it's not a great shape, right? But there's also times where maybe, what if I want to say, let's grab something else? I don't know, I like to use different masking here, okay? So I'm gonna grab the mask rectangle. Let's grab a different alpha. I'm gonna import an alpha that I made, so let me grab that really quick. I'm over on my other monitor, so that's why you can't see what I'm doing right now. Don't you worry, I'm here for you. All right, so let me grab a different one.
Yeah, I'm
gonna grab a different alpha. I'm gonna grab something like this.
You're going retro?
Yep. No, you're gonna see. You're gonna enjoy what I'm going to do.
This is all for you.
This is for you, Louis.
Oh, here we go.
This is for you.
Oh boy.
Okay.
So
it's not anything impressive, right? It's just a nice circle. Yay. Okay, but here's the idea. I started with the shape. What we have now done is you got to start thinking about this. I'm just making a simple shape in this, all right? Keeping it simple first. Then I'm going to go to my masking, and there's going to be a new menu called Mask Region. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to do the first click, Alter Region, boom. The entire thing gets filled for me. So what you all now need to start thinking is you can make any shape that you want, and with one button, we're going to fill it for you. We're going to analyze this instead of sitting there doing
which I do a lot.
My mind is going like, hello, lots of things. Like there's fireworks going off in my head right now. Just for those that really want to take a walk in my mind. Yes.
Could have saved me years of my life. How many times I filled in a mask?
Yeah. Well, watch. I'm going to do something even cooler here. Let's do it again. Okay. And let's make a circle there. And you know what? Let's do another one.
A circle within
a circle within a circle. Ooh, okay. And let's do another one. I'm going to make this one be even a little bit different. Yeah, a little something like that. So what's going to happen here? Watch this. I'm going to hit Auto Region, and boom. Look, it's almost Grace. I know you're in the back. It's getting close. It's getting close to that duck, right? So if I undo, you can see it is actually intelligent enough to figure out the way this has been laid out. And if I click it again, you'll see that this was filled, and then this was filled, but this was left alone. Like
somebody said this should be in every software.
Oh my God, this is going to be a game. What? Yes, Ian, go.
I was gonna say, go back, because that looked like it's like a perfect O.
I want to say what it looks like, but I don't know if there's copyright.
I can't say that either.
That's why I say it's the duck. I'm just going to say it's the duck, okay? So, okay, great shapes. Yay! Right and all. Let's go ahead and get away from just a simple shape. Let's do something a little more fun.
Time for the Bert?
This is Louis been waiting for this, everybody.
Time for the Bert.
If you guys didn't know, he's not even sitting right now, okay? That's not even happening with him. I'm going to switch to the
I'm leaning at
mask. You're not sitting. He's floating, okay? He's been floating the whole 4 days. He's not actually in a chair. Zen.
The chair was CGI, just so you know.
I'm going to bring in now, let's bring in something else. Let's bring in a different alpha.
Time for the Bert.
Louis been waiting for this, okay? I've got this little bird here, okay? I'm going to actually flip it. I'm going to make an inverse of that. So I just want this part of the bird. So I'm going to say I'm now on the masking square, all right? And I'm going to say let's go grab that bear to that bird, and I'm going to drag that out. So now I can let's put a bird on here. Ooh, that looks nice.
Oh, now we're getting hot rod status.
Yes, yes. Now, what I'm going to do different, we're starting to get a little bit more complex here, and this is where I hope all your minds start thinking about as an artist what you're going to be able to do next. So instead of me saying, let's just fill what we've got here, I'm going to say, let's analyze first the mask. Let's figure out, let ZBrush go, okay, take a look at this mask. Let's really figure this out. Now what I can do as an artist, I'm going to switch back to my masking pen now. I'm going to come and say, we'll go with a little bit smaller brush size. I'm going to say there, let's go here, let's go here. I'm looking at Louis. Yeah, he likes that one. And he likes that one
That's
too.
good.
Yeah?
That's
and that
good.
one too?
Good enough.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm making little marks, and you can see I'm making little marks within the region. And you see, once I've clicked this Analyze region,
Dun,
the
dun,
Fill region comes available, and boom. You can choose what regions to even fill. So you don't have to do it globally.
Yes.
You, as a user, can decide where you want the filling to happen with the masking. Like, this is awesome. I'm telling you right now, I'm having a great old time. Everyone's laughing in here. Not really. It's just me in my head laughing.
People are happy.
I'm laughing.
We can, oh, good.
It's just
I'm
whether or not
laughing at me or with me?
Gentlemen,
okay.
let me rein you in
You
here
decide.
for a
Yeah,
second.
go ahead.
We
Go
still
ahead.
have a
Talk to
global
me, Boots.
responsibility to the fans
Why
here.
make some color on this?
I just want to say the fans are saying this is magic, 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 and whoa, really glad we could do this for you is what I'll say back to them. Carry on.
Yeah. So as you can see, now that I've applied paint, you can see where the reds went, because it's Christmas, and you can see where the greens went.
That's a
So,
lime green jacket.
It's beautiful. Don't act like you wouldn't wear it, okay?
You
It's
made
in
it.
the
I
back.
would wear it.
If it's got a racing stripe on it,
I'll do
Ian's
it.
gonna wear
I got it.
He's gonna wear it.
Louis
You're
and I
driving
were-
around in an orange car, and you're making fun of my lime green jacket right now? What
People
is
like the
happening?
orange car.
What is happening right now? Okay, so we're not done. We want to continue stuff. So I'm going to bring up another beta here. So give me a second. I'm going to close this one down.
You got another
Bring
beta.
up another one. What's that?
We got two betas going on.
We got
here.
two
This
betas.
is amazing.
No, 'cause you
Sit
said
tight.
it. It's just, what we're working on, the work
Right.
in
Yeah.
progresses. Okay, so I'm going to...
Skunks work.
Okay, yeah, I'm just
Yeah.
going to bring up another one here for me. So let me grab
Well, like
that
I
one.
said, the people in the chat across the
Yeah,
globe are really
go
happy
ahead.
with this. They're really, really ecstatic. I'm reading some of the comments here, and it looks like a very positive response, and we're really pleased with that. Carry
I'm
on.
glad it's positive.
Oh, 100%. Well, especially again, because everybody was like, oh, I love masking. Every time we talked about masking in the
Ooh,
back
I
of
love
my
it.
head,
I saw
I
you.
was like, oh my God.
I
I,
hoped
just
you
want
would
to
bite your lip.
say what's coming up.
Right, I hoped you would bite your lip. You did a
No,
great
I mean,
job.
you know,
you were
I did-
poker faced
I did
the whole
my job.
time.
I did.
Good man.
Oh, here we go.
Ooh. Well, this is really pretty. Paul,
Yes, talk to me.
was this made in ZBrush?
This is 100% made in ZBrush
Wow.
with this is all a lot of Z Modeler for sure. He's an amazing artist. He's got a lot of stuff on ZBrush Central. He's done a lot of things. He's done like a train. He's done also like a propeller, like a helicopter.
Yeah.
What else has he done? I'm missing another one he's done. But this is on ZBrush Central right now. It's top row, so
Yeah, deservedly
Yeah.
on top row.
100%. It's an amazing piece. So we thought, you know what, let's use this, okay? And let's think about some things that maybe we can do with this, right?
He says, nah, that's Paul's scan of his car.
That's
No, it's not.
hysterical.
That's a fancy car, Paul.
Boy, I wish I had that car.
And somebody said, no, you got Louis' car in there. Stop it.
That's more accurate, Louis' car. Okay, so what I'm going to do is let's go into rendering, all right? And let's take a look at rendering something off, and we're gonna just do a quick little render. And we're going to be rendering some stuff in here, right? So obviously rendering is very important. It's what we're trying to get to, and we're trying to get something that looks nice. And we have a preview render in ZBrush. We've got also obviously the best preview render as well. But obviously now that we're part of Maxon, that's right, people. I've got Redshift right here, right
go.
now,
What?
inside of ZBrush.
I'm sorry. Can
Yes.
you repeat that? Because
Redshift
I'm right next to
is
you.
right now inside of, yeah, welcome to the spit zone, Ian.
Perfect.
All right? This is now rendering with Redshift. We are no longer rendering with our preview or our best preview renderer. This is like, look at that. That's just buttery.
Chat just came to life there.
Oh, it came to life, did it?
You might have sent a
It came
fissure
to
through.
life,
You might have
did
sent a massive fissure through the internet with that
Wow,
one. That is
okay,
an emphatic
okay,
yes,
okay,
large capital letters
okay.
across the
Here
entire
we
chat.
go, people. Look, so we've
Wow.
got some stuff Ian and I are going to start sharing with you what you actually can do now with Redshift inside of ZBrush. So the first render that, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Buckle up.
Oh, yeah, but for sure.
Yeah, this is the
100%.
Like, buckle up,
Yeah.
don't close your eyes. All right. Number one, I just re-rendered. Look how fast that was. That was like second.
Oh my
a
God,
second.
yeah,
So
easily.
we are doing something special to try and make the rendering even faster with Redshift inside of ZBrush. So just like we were talking about with ZBrush, your first render, it's going to calculate all that information, but we are now remembering that model and information. So now, as I play, for those that have rendered, It's like, I feel like I'm just like, what is that, turning? I'm just like turning things and hoping things happen, right?
Yeah, which happens a lot in rendering.
God, like rendering. So I just want to play and start figuring this out. So number one, I'm doing a progressive render right now is what I'm doing. So I'm going to say, well, how about I turn off my progressive rendering, and then I'm going to say, well, let's go ahead and re-render this. So you can now, as an artist with inside of ZBrush with Redshift, you can either do a bucket render or you can do a progressive render. I'm a big bucket guy, personally.
No, I do a 50-50. I do progressive in the beginning just to get a sense and a feel.
Yeah.
But then when I'm ready to get like closer to a final render, it's going through, I switch.
You switch.
Yeah.
Okay, makes sense.
I'm weird like that.
I just like seeing that pixel where it's going.
The animation is
I don't
like,
know, maybe that's what it is.
Maybe we can get some sound effects.
Listen, I've been trying to get sound effects in ZBrush for 13 years, and it still hasn't been able to happen.
I'll just pitch it. I can voice it.
Okay, thank you. All right, so now what I'm going to do is, we've been using a blend. I'm going to switch to just a matcap material, and now I'm going to render this. So that's right, you can use any of your standard materials and any of your matcap materials and send those to Redshift and render with those. So it's not just about grabbing that standard material. So here's a nice little quick clay render. And again, we're going to be doing here, Ian and I, we're starting just from scratch, what you're seeing right now. Yeah. And we're going to switch back and forth and kind of slowly now show you what you can do with Redshift rendering and how beautiful render you all are going to get once you get this in your hands, right? Because we're excited to see once you have this. So you've got two materials. Well, that's not good enough, honestly.
No.
So, no, especially with Ian next to me. He's like, that's not good enough.
No, we're going to have to throw a lot of materials.
This is where Ian comes in and tells me and looks at my renders and tells me that doesn't look so hot. Okay.
It's only for this part.
Oh, the truth has come out. Here you go. So we have also added Redshift materials right in ZBrush. So now I've just selected just a standard Redshift material and said, let's render with that. Let's see what we get just with this and see how well that's looking. There, you can definitely see there's some changes happening here that I really, really love. And then, like, let's see about playing. Yes, you got your finger up over there. What's happening, Louis? You got something?
I don't know if I should interject now or I should let them wait a little longer because there seems to be a running question that they want.
Well, if there's questions, I'd probably wait. We might probably get to it because we're going to start trying
I'm not going to answer that yet.
So obviously I'm going to open up our modifiers. You can see everything now we have at our disposal with a Redshift material. I'm feeling shiny inside, so you know I'm always bright inside. I'm feeling happy, feeling lovely. Whoa, look at that. So metal, right? Throw that on. Let's see what that is rendering like. And again, I'm using our rendering ability, sending it to Redshift now, right? Which is incredible there. A beautiful, shiny car. Yeah.
Is it GPU or CPU?
It's both GPU or CPU. Okay, it depends on what you have. If you have the subscription to Redshift or Maxon 1, you're going to have the ability to have your GPU. If you don't have the subscription to Maxon 1 or the subscription to Redshift, you'll get the CPU. Right, so that's important to know.
So one more time, with a subscription, you get the GPU?
Get that subscription. And don't forget, those that registered, we're going to be sending you an email after the summit from a Dove. It's going to be a Dove that's going to deliver. No, it's an email, a regular email. You're going to get 25% discount special for Maxon 1 and also ZBrush. So there you go. There's a way for you to get in. So you can see I'm just playing with some metals, messing around with this. We can even, start playing with some other items on here. You can see you got a lot of stuff. Maybe let's knock down the reflective,
real quick, I had a question for you.
Okay,
so, if I'm one of those guys that gets the email for the 25, is it for the first year?
It's just for the first year. Oh, look at that. Okay. I've seen one of these in LA, just chromed out, blinding me on the street, reflecting off.
Yeah, that actually reminds me of the concert hall that happens to be in Hollywood.
I know. The Disney Hall.
The Walt Disney Concert Hall.
That's what you're talking about.
Designed by Frank Gehry. Fellow Canadian.
What happened?
Frank Gehry.
Fellow Canadian, yeah, absolutely.
Walt Disney Concert.
All right, so you can start to seeing what we're going to have inside of ZBrush now with Redshift. Okay, so what we've done here is we started playing with these Redshift materials, and I'm going to now just turn on all the materials that we made for this car. And let's go ahead and now just render this out as is with these materials. So I just turned on our poly paint because I want to now show you guys a little something where, like I said, this is going to be a progression thing that we're looking at with you all. and trying to just keep pushing the render and pushing the render, and hopefully this inspires you all in thinking about your ZBrush models, what you're going to be able to do with this.
Which is a lot right now.
It's a lot.
That's a lot.
Right. Right? So this is already now starting to get better and better and better, and that's what we're trying to do today with you all. So I'm going to jump back up into here, and I'm going to turn something else on. We've got even our depth of field, right? So I'm going to make this really, really blurry, like just so you'll be able to visually see this online and see that. And I'm going to take the focus, and I'm going to say, I'm going to say right about there. Boop. So that's it. I'm just saying, telling ZBrush, where do I want to focus on this car? Where do I want that depth of field to be? And look how fast this is rendering. Again, we are remembering that information for us. There, I'm done rendering, right? It's pretty blurry.
It's pretty blurry.
Pretty blurry.
Yeah, I would say.
Right, so as an artist, I would say, let's drop that down maybe in the 5 range for a radius, and then let's go ahead and print that off and go, yes. I am making a render.
There you go. It's looking better. Yeah.
Yeah. Are you liking it?
Yeah, I am.
Well, yeah.
There are a few things I would like to
The thing is, hold on,
All right.
before you tell them a few things, there's people saying this is a conceptual designer's dream.
All right. Ian wants to.
And hello to everyone.
Yeah, just a couple things. I won't take up too much time.
We're switching
Ian's
again.
turn.
We're switching again. Go. I wonder what you'll be doing.
All right. Well, what I really like about this render so far is that it's starting to feel more and more lifelike.
Okay.
But what if I actually would like to, I don't know, maybe give it a background? That'd be kind of cool, right?
So you want to change some lighting.
I do want to change some lighting.
Not good enough for him what I did.
No.
This is my everyday.
Yeah, there you go.
Every
you have
day.
to deal with me. Yeah, it's perfect. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the light palette. I'm going to drop this down, go into the background, and I'm actually going to turn on an HDR because I really think this is going to elevate the piece a little bit and bring in some fun lighting. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of position this maybe somewhere around here.
That's Louis' apartment on the right.
It is, yeah.
You guys are painting a picture of my personal life.
Later.
Not really. I have no idea where this is.
Very skewed Viennese life that I live.
Right? Yeah.
A street in Vienna somewhere.
So I think this would be pretty cool. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to hit Shift-R again just to go ahead and kind of get an idea of what's going on here. Now, of course, like we were saying, how fast the rendering and stuff like is, we brought in an HDR, brought in some different lighting, so it's going to recalculate that, but still, look how fast that is.
That looks great. What's up with the floor?
Well, yeah.
Hey, you got lighting in the ZBrush lighting.
I do.
Can we change that? Is that?
You know, we can, yeah, absolutely. What I like to do is when I bring in an HDR, I like to see what it looks like first. I don't like to change too much, Paul.
Sorry, taking over the demo.
But now I have a redshift exposure element, and I can actually bring that down a little bit, or I can raise that up depending on what I want. Let's actually drop that down just a little bit. Now I also too have gamma and exposure I can play with as well, but I'm gonna just adjust the redshift exposure. And
just redshift.
Just redshift, yeah.
Okay.
Just redshift.
All right.
I mean, so we could go really low too.
Oh.
How low can we go?
How low can you go?
Cool.
It's gonna get darker now.
It is gonna get darker. But you know the other thing, I'm gonna bring it up just a little bit more, but what I wanna notice, I wanna point this out right here.
I like that you just pointed the Cintiq, like they all can see your finger right now.
See,
You literally just pointed the Cintiq people.
I've been left
the camera
responsible.
caught that.
I can't believe they
Amazing.
I can't believe they put me in charge of keeping you two on the wraps.
exactly.
Who put me next to this guy?
Yeah, you did.
Oh, that's right, I did. You're right.
So I
Let's keep on
actually
coming.
would like to, maybe adjust some more of the lighting itself here. So I'm actually gonna take the redshift material that we have here. I'm gonna drop the intensity down just a little bit. And when I say a little bit, like a good chunk of
like
it.
a lot?
Like a lot.
Pretty much turn it off is what you're doing.
Pretty much
So
turn
now
it
you're
off, yeah.
only using HDR.
HDR. Yep. And
Well,
that's starting to, the car's starting to fit the environment a little bit. But I got a black
guess so,
gaping
but
hole.
there's a gaping black hole.
So now I want to deal with the black gaping hole that's happening here.
right.
Because we have a floor, right? If I turn the floor off and I re-render that, what do you think is going to happen?
I think we're going to go back to the future.
Back to the future.
And it's going to float.
It's going to be floating.
I was correct.
So instead of turning off the floor, maybe what I can do is add a material for that. So I'm actually going to go under Redshift Render, and there is a material setting here. And I'm going to go ahead and pick a floor material. Do you have one specific? Oh, we do have one. That's pretty cool, right? So I'm going to go ahead and turn this on. Now, before I go ahead and just click render, what I would like to point out is that the materials have the ability to add a shadow catcher, which is really, really cool. So if I go over here to my material, boop.
It's on the bottom.
There it is.
I already did it for you.
You did, but I'm going to do
I'm
it
your
again.
assistant.
Right down here, I'm going to put on the magnifying glass this time, not point to the screen. I'm going to point out the bottom of the material of Redshift is a shadow catcher, and it is 0 for off and 1 for on. So with that material, because you can turn anything into a shadow catcher. Doesn't just have to be the floor.
It's any mesh.
Any mesh.
Okay.
As long as it has the material with the shadow catcher on, it becomes a shadow of catchers.
It's becoming a twist for you.
It is.
Tongue twister.
It is.
It's becoming a tongue twister.
We already know my spoken capabilities aren't the greatest.
Right.
But now we can see, look at, Paul, there's a shadow on the floor
We're
of the
starting
HDR.
to. We're starting to bring some. I still think you're missing something personally. What about the inside of the car? Is there anything
you want to
inside
see
there?
inside of it?
That would be pretty cool.
You know what? That would be really, really cool.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and alt select the glass, or what should be glass. And I'm going to go ahead and go to my materials, and I'm going to find my RS glass material. I'm going to go ahead and click that. And I'm going to make sure that I go on up, select material, go to color. So just filling with that material. And I believe this is glass too, right?
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and might as well fill the lights, because we can't see if it's
I don't know if there's lights under there.
I don't know.
Of course I know.
Of course. So let's go ahead and re-render and see what happens now. Now, it's just the material selection, but with Redshift, now, there is actually something in there. That's pretty cool.
That's pretty. I want to try something now. Can I take back over?
You want to finish it? Okay, let's do it.
It's like a game of musical chairs here this afternoon. We come to the finish.
This is fun. Let's do this all the time.
All right.
All right. I'm gonna. I know you were enjoying playing with that. I want to reiterate this for the background. I'm gonna go up.
Punch it.
I'm gonna punch it.
Punch it, Bishop.
I just want to punch it, Bishop. Let's push that out even a little bit more. Again, I want to keep rendering and playing with this. So I want that white to come a little bit more. So again, the beauty here is it's only affecting the redshift and what Ian was pointing out. So we have a way to play with that exposure just for the redshift render. So let's see, I'm going to turn these off and let's take a look at, say, something in there. Let's get a little closer look. Don't be shy. Let's get, there you go, right? I'll turn on polyframe so you guys can all see what I have here. All right, and I'm going to say, let's take this little purple part right here, this little section here, which is clearly lights. All right, so let's grab a different material. I don't know, let's grab something else. Yeah, I don't know, let's grab
something
this one.
A little bit more glowy, maybe?
Oh, do you know where I'm going?
I don't
think
know.
you do.
I mean, they're headlights.
Well, yeah.
What could we possibly be doing with headlights?
Well, first of all, I don't want any metal on this. That's not necessary for this. But what I would like, which would be pretty cool, how about some emissive?
Ooh.
Okay, so I'm going to throw some emissive on here. I'm going to go all out crazy.
You're going to go all out?
This is probably in the back room. They're going, stop.
Stop doing that.
Blind.
You know what? I'm going to encourage it. Go ahead. What's 100%?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I appreciate you encouraging.
I got your back.
I appreciate that. And then I'm going to fill that now, right? So we get this material. You know, and I'm going to have, I'm going to throw in a little color. Why not?
Yeah.
So let's do an MRGB this time instead. I'd prefer,
yeah, there you go.
Yellow. Okay, let's bring everything back now. And hey, I remember I turned off your little glass front covers there.
Yeah, we got to put that back on.
So
I
now
worked hard on that.
You like that?
I did, yeah.
This is a beautiful car, by the way. Again,
it is.
done in ZBrush. Quite impressive. And amazing.
Ooh.
What? Look at that.
That's pretty bright, though.
Well, they're LEDs. Why can't they be that bright? So I'd like to point out, look, we're getting the reflections of the emissive. So you now have emissive inside of ZBrush with Redshift. So you are right. It's a little, it's a little aggressive. It's a little aggressive.
Yeah, what does 10% look like?
Well, we'll change it. We'll change it. Because you were pointing out that looked a little aggressive, I'm going to play a little bit more, too.
Okay, fine. All right, fine. Go ahead.
Right.
I will. Go ahead.
I want to play a little bit more here. So I'm going to, let's select and see the car. Let's just click and drag the material for the car again. All right, and let's go back and let's see. I want to go see what that crazy chrome looking thing looks like, right? So I'm gonna,
Here we go.
I'm gonna go even lower on the roughness, all right? And I'm gonna up that metalness. Even, look, why not? I'm cranking it. Oh,
Yeah, okay, okay.
look at that, yes.
You know, that might be a bad idea, though.
I would not want to be driving next to this in sunny Southern California, that's for sure.
Out of most parts of the world.
Oh, look at that, nice and chrome.
Ooh,
It's pretty bright.
you know, I think that's a little too much chrome.
All right, let me see.
Paul.
Let me draw. What if I went halfway? What do you think about that?
Okay,
what
well,
if I
let's find
rendered that out?
Let's find out.
Let's find what that is. So this is the beauty of this is I'm now just playing with this material, figuring out what I want to look like. And now I'm like, what? Do you remember what I had for this?
You know, I was going to say, I think you should just set it back but I would like you to set it back exactly where you had it because we got approval for that. They called in, they said approval, and then you're coming in with this metal chrome stuff.
I'm just going nuts.
Can you dial it back exactly where we were, please?
I'm just going crazy. Okay, well, this has always been a problem for me with rendering.
Same.
Right, because I feel like you're just pulling levers, render.
Yeah.
Pulling a lever, render.
Yeah.
Changing a material, render. Changing a material,
It's a common problem
Right.
because you never get it quite where you want it. You always get close enough. At least in my experience, I don't know.
Yeah.
It sounds like we're on the same page with that.
Yeah, so I'm gonna pull up that render palette because obviously you guys all know where we're going here, right? We have something that is render recall, or what we're starting to call it internally is the render total recall.
Render total recall.
Total recall. You can see right here, it's actually been caching and remembering all the renders that Ian and I have been doing. So we're at 23 renders already. And the beauty part about this is not only can I cycle through and see all the changes that we've been doing, like all the way to the beginning or all the way to the end.
Look at that.
Right? So this is just allowing us to look through our renders now and see which one you like.
I like how you're just casually being like, yeah, well, let's just go back in time.
Casual.
Yeah.
Super cash. Super cash, right? And then I can be like, well, where was it that it was like not too crazy, right? Maybe I don't want the emissive. And now I can let go. And guess what? If I re-render now, I am now putting all my material, all my lighting, everything back to what that image looked like. So you can see the emissive is gone now. I didn't need to go adjust anything on my materials. Right. I didn't need to go play with the render settings. Everything is being updated for me based upon the image that I just selected.
Yeah, because you applied that emissive material. In before, you would have to go back and maybe put flat color on to remove that material completely.
Yep.
Where in this case, you're just like, no, I decided against it, go back, re-render, and now it's gone.
Listen, I'm not done, okay?
No.
The beauty part of Redshift being now inside of ZBrush, I'm gonna kind of do something this one's fun for me. I really enjoy doing this already in ZBrush. And now that I have Redshift, this is just gonna be even a lot more fun for me, is the BPR
Paul?
filters.
You know what?
Yeah.
I'm just going to say go nuts.
Oh,
because I know the chat's loving it. I know they missed you. So go ahead, go nuts.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Did you miss me? Did you really miss me?
I think they did.
Yeah, no one cares. No one cares. So guess what? I'm going to be able to apply a filter to the Redshift render now.
Oh my gosh.
Right?
Really?
So I'm going to be able to use the ZBrush filters on the render for Redshift. So me personally, we talked about, I just showed a way to use the Redshift depth of field. Well, you could also just use the filter system. I can throw a blur on this if I want to. I'm gonna go really blurry on this. And again, we'll make the radius, look at that.
Oh, wow, you're like...
I don't want it to be, if you notice, it's only on the car right now.
Yeah.
I want it on everything. So this little masking slider, I'm gonna put the 0. Now it's on everything.
Now I can't see the car.
Right, so now this is like your squinting eyes. That is artwork. Look, I'm on my way to Art Basel right now. That's all I know. Here I come. So I'm gonna say, how about we do it by depth, okay?
Oh.
And I'm gonna say, you could 0 these out if you want to and let ZBrush figure some things out and automatically boom. And then if I re-render now, okay? We're gonna re-render with the Redshift again, get me all those shadows, get all that information back, and then boom, throw the filter on it, right? So filters are real time. So I'm seeing everything, but to get back all my shadows and everything else that I want, there you go, you can have that. So this is obviously be an example of like, okay, my radius is too big. Let's bring that down, all right? Let's throw something else on here. Saturation, what if I want to start desaturating, right? And then I'm saturating the background only. And so you can clearly see, I can say switch that to only the car if I want to. A little noir in honor of Louis Tucci. A little
Thank you very
noir
much, sir.
there. Okay.
Thank you.
Right, so you can see this is all being done in real time. I can even say, let's throw a little colorize, colorize, maybe a little, I don't know.
Well, you're going noir, so you might as well, yeah, there you go.
I'm going a little, let's Fresnel it even.
Ah, there you go.
There you go, right? And then I can even go the other direction. So you guys can see the ability we have here and just start having some fun with this and then just re-render.
It's also nice, too, that you're able to see the redshift render as you're applying the filters on the car. So you're still seeing the effects of it, and then re-rendering it just brings it all together, making it one cohesive image. That's really, really cool.
Yeah, so now I've got a little bit of blur on here. I've got some red on here. We've got some other things. Louis, how's the chat? Are they digging it?
Oh, yeah,
Are they
people
loving
are pretty
it?
happy about
They're
things over
feeling
here.
really
They love
happy
it.
about this? Okay,
Yep.
so there
OMG.
is so many things that you all can do. So look at these. All these, look, there's an outer edge. I can make that be really crazy. I don't want to have noise. Hey, let's put it inside as well. In fact, I'm going to change the color just so you all can,
Yeah, I dig it.
Why do we keep going to green? I have no
There
idea.
might be a reason
Pink.
for that, but I
Going
don't
to
know. I
pink
can't
now.
figure it out.
Listen, I love me some holidays.
There you
I
go.
love me some holidays. So you can see what this is doing. This is putting an outer edge, right, in here. And I love using this one for like when I'm doing stuff that's toon shaded, cartoony. But the point here I'm trying to make is very extreme. But what we're trying to emphasize here is we have redshift rendering with the filter system, all with inside of ZBrush. This is going to be a ton of fun. I can't wait to see the renders that everyone's going to be doing.
And also, too, let's not forget, you were talking about matte caps being, matte cap materials, redshift materials, standard materials. It gives them more options to find exactly what they're looking for.
Okay, yes, but
But
not everyone's like me.
Okay.
Just living in hard surface all the time.
Yeah, we have some organic stuff too, right?
Yeah, so I'm going to load something else here. I want to load another little project over here that I have.
Wait, what do you got here? Come on, I want to see it.
Just enjoy, Mr. Near and dear to.
I want to thank Henry Cervenka one more time for that model.
Henry, yes, for the model.
Henry
Thank
Cervenka's
you.
Bugatti. By the way.
Thank you for that. Yes, Earthquake. He's got to be shown every summit.
He does.
Pretty
I agree.
much.
Yeah, 100%.
He's a staple now. At
He
this
is.
point,
And
okay?
because we have Redshift integration, we have to
You
level
want
up
me
a
to
little.
render it, is what you're telling me
Please
right now?
render it.
Okay, so what we're going to do now is take a look. Oh, look, a nice little
Wow.
render there.
A clay
That looks
statue
pretty
going
good.
on
Yeah,
there.
a little
I like
clay.
it.
You like that?
Yeah, I mean, you already have a shadow catcher. Paul, this is looking really
What are you going to do with this guy now?
Well, let's look. Let's see. You got different materials, right? So you've got ability to play with some materials in here.
Yeah.
So you know what? I'm gonna want to go back again. I don't
says-
like what I did.
guy
Well,
says-
I don't have to do that actually. I can do the recall,
You
right?
could,
so
yeah.
you don't even have to load other projects now, right? This is an example of why don't I just go back to the original file after I started playing with some things? So let's start playing with this material, okay? And let's get into my material palette. And now, obviously, the next thing that I'd probably want to do, how about some subsurface scatter?
Yes, please.
Okay.
SSS.
S.
Finally, they were blowing it up in the chat. I didn't have a hard time saying anything.
And it's
Here's
going
the
to be this
subsurface
easy
scatter.
for all of us now. This is going to be. I'm going. Even though Ian doesn't want me to, I'm going crazy.
He's going to look like a burnt tomato.
He's going to be a burnt tomato. Look at that. He is pink.
But it's showing it off.
He is pink.
You got yes across the board here in the chat.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Letter
right?
Y,
There
yes.
you go. For all those character artists out there, like, I just need that subsurface scatter going on in my model.
Yeah. And obviously, we're going to need to be able to tweak things like this. So number one, I'm going to want to be able to control color. So you can see down here, you're going to be able to control your front color and your back colors in here. This is ridiculous. It's
Oh, you admit
super
it?
extreme.
Okay.
Well, I'm just trying to make stuff for everyone at home to really visualize this
Yeah, that's
and see
true.
this.
Push
right?
it.
So there, I'm knocking it down. I went halfway down now. It's still, and you can really see it coming through in the hands. You can see it coming through in here and stuff like this. So I'm going to start tweaking this just a little bit more. I'm going to throw this at maybe 0.2
Hey,
for the amount. Yes.
The line of the summit. I just found the line of the
Yeah,
summit.
you got the line of the summit.
The line
And
of the
that's
summit.
Momo the Louis, not the line of the summit.
Character artists are moshing.
Oh,
Right, so now
that's
you see
looking,
we're getting better.
Yeah, that looks
Right,
good.
it's starting to come to life. Now, obviously I'm going to want to control, depending on your character, depending on what you're using it on, there is obviously thickness to a mesh.
Yep.
There's different volume to it. So because it's a redshift material, I can actually play with the scaling here. So I'm just gonna make this go pretty high. I'm gonna put it at a little bit higher number. 30 sounds good to me. And what this is controlling is, hey, how thick is the mesh? In essence, what's the scale of it? The higher I go with this, you're gonna start getting more and more subsurface because you're allowing it and saying, hey, the mesh isn't this, it's this. I once caught a fish this big, not this big. That's just a movie quote, that's not mine.
No.
Go ahead, someone put the movie in chat. Let's see if you know it. Let's really impress me. I'll even give you the decade, the 90s. I'll give it to you. All right.
So.
Yeah, so this is go ahead.
We only have a few more minutes.
Nope.
I don't want to go away.
Who said there's only a few? Who's telling you these things?
This.
Nope.
But I know there's something else too.
Yep, I want to load something else in here. So let me open another. I'm just having a lot of fun with this, okay? So let's load something else.
But wait, there's more.
Oh, there's some more. Don't you worry. Okie dokie, don't you worry. All right, here we go. Near and dear to our hearts, the old spotlight. Right, so obviously we can render this
Hold on a second.
Redshift. Yes.
Listen, everybody in the chat and everybody across the world, pay close attention to what's about to happen here, because if you miss it, you're not going to believe it happened, and I don't want to be held responsible for the broken hearts. Take it up, Paul.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Love some gold.
Love it.
Right, love some gold. Now, here is the nice thing. We're sending this, right? This model is actually all just low polygon that Mr. Joseph Druss did, and he's using dynamic subdiv. So here's a big one for me. I'm going to turn off dynamic subdiv. Okay, so now it's off on the subtool I have selected. Guess what? How about let's do it to all of them?
Oh, that would be nice.
Boom. They all now have dynamic sub turned off, and you can see my render. You can start seeing that faceting start to happen there, right? And it's not just, so I'm going to turn it all back on again. I've changed my mind.
Yep.
And then go ahead and hit that button again. Turn it all back on and say, yep, give it to me all in a dynamic subdiv. Then I'm going to say, okay, well, this model, right now it doesn't have the material, it doesn't have the color, so I'm going to say MRGB, but instead of going to the color, I'm going to come down here into the poly paint. And I'm highlighting this for a certain reason. We now have a fill color, because guess what you can do? Any undoable button and slider inside the tool palette now can take advantage of this apply the last action to all subtools. Nice. So now every single subtool is going to get the fill. So you can see all my poly paint is being turned on, and you're getting all these to have those materials.
So instead of selecting one, filling another, down,
and again,
down.
In the tool palette, anything that's undoable action, you'll be able to use that button. So I'm going to do one other thing, because this was just something I said, hey, how about if we did a little something else? So I'm going to say, let's take that. Let's add that. Let's add that. I'm going to say that looks good. I'm changing my mind on that. I don't want this. So I've got these selected. I'm going to hit Control. I'm going to say, hey, I would like to actually say, whoops, sorry, I hit the wrong button. That was me. Okay.
I'll allow it.
Hello. I'm just getting excited over here.
Well, okay, I mean, there's a lot to be excited about. This is
I'm
really
going
cool
to make a new folder. Okay. We're going to call this Summit. Right, so now I have a folder with those pieces. I use the gizmo to make my folder. So here is my folder, all right? And I'm going to say, let's go now with a green again. I keep gravitating towards.
Do you want to try something else, like an orange?
I have no. Sure. No, because
I think green's actually better.
I can't believe they're paying you guys to do this. This is unbelievable.
Let's do a pink.
All right. I think that's better. Yeah. Okay.
All right. So you can see there's a bunch of different materials in here. So I'm going to do RS plastic. Right, so if you remember, I filled all the subtools.
Yeah.
So now I've got a new color and a new material. So guess what? I'm going to say gear, right? And I want to say, how about let's do this. Let's come back down to here first and say, let's fill with MRGB on. Let's fill the selected. Oh, beautiful.
Oh, that is beautiful.
Pink.
I love it.
Pretty in pink. And now guess what?
Apply.
Instead of pressing there, I'm going to go here and look what just became available.
Yes.
So I can do this even by a folder. So now just this folder has the pretty in pink plastic with this gorgeous gold that I made from scratch. I mean, that's just incredible, right? So you can see we can use this replaying last subtool a lot. So I have something else though. I'm not done. I got one more thing that I'd like to show here.
What am I?
All right, so I'm going to pull her up. This is oh, look at that. That's just gorgeous, beautiful. So we're going to render her out. So again, this has got a Redshift material selected, okay? And then now we're rendering with Redshift. So here's something very unique, very cool, and just another advantage of Redshift being inside of ZBrush, okay? So I'm going to say, this looks great.
Yeah.
All right? Here, watch this. I'm going to show you something special that we've added also into here. So I'm going to go into the Redshift renderer, and right here we've got a Redshift Baker 360, okay? So what I'm going to let Redshift do now is render 8 steps, okay, and then 4 steps of this render. And you might be thinking, well, what is the point of this? Well, the point of this is I'm actually now baking all of our rendering into the model as vertex polypaint information.
Wait,
That's what we're doing.
So we're taking the render.
Yep.
And we're making a polypaint.
Yep.
So it all looks like a render.
And let's not forget, ZRemesher can keep polypaint now too,
Yes.
right? So there you go. This is now just polypaint with the material, okay? So I can render again, and now this is the poly. But really, if you want to see it,
Yeah, can we see it? Like,
sure.
let's put something.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. This is if I turn off the polypaint, that's what she really actually. That's what she looks like.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
But I'm using the paint from now the render of Redshift.
Wow.
To do this.
I can already tell. I always get that can view question.
Yeah.
That I love so much. I'm going to be updating that with some Redshift.
Yep.
It's going to happen.
Right. So we definitely have a lot more that we're working on, but
Yep.
that's it for today that I want to show.
That's the
behind
taste.
the curtain, underneath the hood. I don't have any.
Guys?
Do you have anything else? I don't have anything.
I don't have anything else.
Yeah,
at
Louis,
this
talk
time.
to me.
Yeah,
I
go ahead,
think
Goose.
that if the chat is any indicator of what people's sentiment is, it's all positive and happy times inside the digital space with a lot of wow, W-O-W. And I think that, yeah, like you said, it's just the beginning of a lot of new things forthcoming, possibly into the new year. We look forward to keep on developing things. Our team is committed to that. And
Oh, yeah.
We do have one more thing to do today.
yes, we do.
Yes, we do. So look, we should definitely get to that because I'm sure everyone's excited about that.
I'm sure they are. So I was going to wrap it up with you guys on that note and bring us back full circle to the cameras in the studio. And Paul, you're going to migrate over here to where we started off in a minute. And I guess we'll do the Sculpt Off Championship giveaway. We'll wrap it up with our winners, the top 5 people. We're going to walk away. Everyone's walking away with some prizes, but there's top 5. Those top 5 are going to get some special stuff. So sit tight. We're going to be coming back. Paul Gabriel, Ian Robinson. Thank you so much for showcasing the latest features that we've been working on. And I'm Louis Tucci here inside the ZBrush Summit 2022. Sit tight. We're going to come back with our ZBrush Sculpt Off winners. So see you in a minute.